Fall fast asleep in this calm bedtime story for grown-ups. You are listening to Autumn Delight at the Dog Cafe. In tonight's sleep story, you explore a charming village known for its historic homes along the river. A vibrant kaleidoscope of changing leaves garnishes Main Street. You explore and arrive at a well-known dog cafe. Cozy flannel, cuddling pups, scents of fall, fireplaces, cinnamon sticks, pumpkins, and jewel tones bring delight on this October day. It's time to dream away. I would like to welcome you to Michelle's Sanctuary. My name is Michelle, and as you listen, think of my voice as that of your trusted guide and dear friend. In a world bent on pushing productivity over wellness, I am here as your sleep advocate and wellness ally. Sleep is your birthright, and it deserves to be a priority. And during the sacred time before sleep, luxuriate in comfort and prime yourself for a night of respite and restoration. You will notice that all your concerns and all your goals are managed easier after a night of the best sleep. Everything else can wait. For this moment in the sanctuary of your room, your body and mind is reserved for contentment and peace. And should you have a pet, you may snuggle up together as you listen to the story. Otherwise, you may imagine the soft, plush fur of a sweet animal lying next to you, offering you enduring devotion and loyalty. Your pet, imagined or real, brings a strong bond and deep love. This furry companion offers limitless forgiveness and sweet eyes that bring a warm smile to your face and a release of oxytocin. Beloved pets sleep often and always with ease. Their ribs rise and fall in a relaxed breath. As you focus on your breath, take on this quality of grace and tranquility. Let out a sigh, just as a pet would, without any concern. Animals always do what feels best in their body. They remind us to do the same. Inhale deeply when you are ready, imagining the air of your room takes on a crisp, sweet autumnal quality. Your body expands to its utmost capacity, and then open your mouth and yawn. Slow down your brain waves and release your muscles with a sleepy, self-soothing gesture, and then sigh. Let it all go. Again, inhale deeply through your nose. This time, imagine the air is warmed by a wood stove and cloaks your body like a comforting blanket. The dry air smells of apples and cinnamon. Open your mouth and yawn. The yawn becomes a delicious sigh, and you are more comfortable than just one breath ago. Continue with the cycle one more time. Usher in peace and imagine all your favorite aspects of autumn dancing through your mind like a vignette. As you inhale, yawn, and exhale, notice how different you feel from when we first began. You will only become more relaxed, calm, and content as we proceed. It's time for the story to begin. There is a serene and settled majesty to woodland scenery that enters into the soul and delights and elevates it and fills it with noble inclinations. Washington Irving. Not far from the setting of Irving's timeless tale of a headless horseman is a quiet village by the river. People travel from the bustling nearby cities to enjoy a bucolic escape during the most glorious time for golden and jewel-toned leaves. Deep in the subconscious mind, memories and ideas from folklore are stored, brought to the surface by the crunching of leaves beneath comfortable shoes and the smell of wood smoke that creates a slithering black trail in a crystal blue sky. Dressed in a well-worn flannel shirt and denim, you walk down the historic main street of this village, not far from the train tracks that serve as a vital artery connecting the city that never sleeps to a sleepy village. Fallen leaves cover the sidewalk like a quilt of mahogany, plum, chartreuse, raincoat yellow, fiery red, and tangerine patches. Your pup walks enthusiastically, taking in every new smell and sight of the village. Golden afternoon light pours over satiny river currents that flow as a backdrop. The sun envelops Main Street and softens the slight chill of October. 2- and 3-storied buildings over a century old house mom and pop shops. You stroll past a bakery, a deli, a knick-knack boutique, and a store for outdoor gear for those who enjoy hiking and canoeing in the region. Regal stone buildings with white Roman pillars house the post office, library, and National Bank, and are bookends for the commercial district. Nestled in the heart of the village, with a backyard area overlooking the river, is the Pup Stop, a famous cafe that welcomes dogs and their owners and animal fans alike. The village has always been a strong-knit community of animal lovers, a place that hosts seasonal adoption events at the gazebo or restored opera house when the weather is too harsh. Content, fluffy cats sleep curled up in storefront windows of an antique shop and bookstore. The Pup Stop is a social gathering place for all who wish to enjoy a warm beverage with their furry companion. A contest at the local school rewarded the winner with a chance to design the sign for the cafe. Painted on wood, it portrays a cartoonish-looking white and black terrier with a bubblegum pink tongue lapping whipped cream from a rainbow-striped mug. A welcome sign in the shape of earth hangs on the front door, and it reads, "It's an animal's world. We just live in it." The sentiment makes you smile. You think about all the silly rules that regulate the lives of animals when it's their world too. A sharp wind cuts through the thoroughfare of charming shops, and decayed leaves dance in mini cyclones down the quiet street. You turn an antique knob and open the glass door into the dog cafe. The lofty space was used as a sewing factory until the 1960s and sat abandoned for some time before many incarnations as various themed restaurants, from a tiki bar to an Italian bistro. Seemingly, the building was destined throughout time to have a theme, and when it last sat empty a decade ago, the current owner Alice stepped in and got all the necessary permission to create an oasis for dogs and dog lovers. Sepia-toned portraits of wet dogs shaking off droplets of water from their snouts and bodies hang on the exposed brick walls. An eclectic array of dog beds, oversized velvety armchairs, tufted sofas, and papasan chairs offer soft spots to relax and imbibe. Colorful Andy Warhol-inspired prints of a Boston Terrier, King Charles Cavalier Spaniel, yellow lab, and a furry mutt decorate the throw pillows scattered throughout the cafe. A warm wave of air carries layers of these fragrant notes: lemongrass tea, almond croissants, pumpkin spice lattes, hot cinnamon apple cider, and mocha. You stand in the warmth and inhale deeply, reveling in aromatic air as a cloud of rustling leaves brushes against the storefront window. The cafe is quiet this fall afternoon, a lovely time to unwind after the morning rush. The kindred spirits who now occupy the cafe with their dog companions are of the mindset that fall afternoons should be sipped in slowly, savored the same as the warm, delicious elixirs served in oversized mugs. You approach the counter, welcomed by Alice, who spent years as an artist. She shot all the wet dog photos hanging in the cafe to get the sweet pups adopted. Everyone who meets Alice finds inspiration in her unique talents, is touched by her gentle warmth that comes without judgment, and feels safe to reveal secrets about themselves that come out casually in conversation. Alice is a living example of how one person with diverse talents can use them all to find ways to better the lives of others. Nothing about her career path or life choices is conventional or planned. She simply followed her heart and opportunities that fueled her passions to make the world hospitable and kind. She's a solid listener and friend to everyone, and some people joke that all the decades she spent with dogs made her as loyal and capable of unconditional love as her sweet 15-year-old hound, Gretchen. Gretchen spends her days on a bed beneath the cash register with her face resting on her paws. Her flappy black ears dangle over the fuzzy edge of the bed. She will occasionally peer beneath the bar flap of the counter, where Alice and her employees will duck under when going behind the coffee bar. So well pampered and content, Gretchen only lumbers towards discarded crumbs after every other dog has been given a go at them. Golden sunlight pours onto Alice's face like a spotlight, causing her kind hazel eyes to sparkle. She says hello to your dog and offers a selection of healthy pup treats. Dogs are always served first at the Pup Cafe. You select something that you know your dog will most enjoy. One of the greatest pleasures in having a pet is the ability to love them and pamper them in ways you would love to be cherished. When you see your furry companion happy, your joy becomes a bottomless well. You then order a hot drink with an adequate amount of foam for Alice to create a silhouette of your dog. When the cafe is less busy, she customizes beverages by drawing the faces and shapes of the pups who visit into the foam. Her creations have been shared all over the world in photos and bring in donations that will keep the Pup Cafe in business for as long as Alice wants. You walk to the back of the cafe, where a sunroom overlooks the river. A wood stove burns in the center of the cafe and casts the Pup Stop in a warm light similar to that of the Edison bulbs strung around exposed wooden beams. These details make the cafe feel timeless, with an old-world charm. 2 college students study on an antique sofa by the wood stove, occasionally taking breaks from their work to stare at a pair of miniature dachshunds snuggling in a bed near the stove. You settle in a papasan chair with a tufted, velvety, emerald green cushion, nestled in between the fire and sunroom. In this prime location, you take in the warm, cozy ambiance of the cafe, while peering out at the backyard, colored by fall's glory. Vibrant clusters of autumn leaves top the trees in shades of mustard, orange red, and plum. A gray wooden fence surrounds the backyard, and dogs frolic in the fallen leaves. Pumpkins and gourds surrounded by dried corn stalks decorate the back patio. Knucklehead pumpkins, orange orbs covered with bewitching green warts, are a reminder that the annual dog costume party will soon be near. But this doesn't stop cafe patrons from dressing short-haired pups prone to get cold in autumnal-hued sweaters as they lounge outside. Like clockwork, Marta, a local legend, arrives at the cafe with a dozen pups. She fosters some members of the pack, and they are available for adoption. She trains and walks the other pups, offering doggy daycare in her Victorian home set atop a hill in the heart of the village. Often children will gather on their porches and in their front yards to watch Marta parade the diverse pack on her way to the dog cafe. The dogs trust her, and she commands them with a snap of a finger or gentle hush. They are in tune with her energy and direction. Like the conductor of a symphony, she guides them with the magic of a fairy tale heroine. Alice goes to the sunroom and opens the door to the backyard. Marta walks through the cafe clutching a dozen leashes that fan out like strings on a loom. The energy changes from sleepy to playful, and all dogs in the cafe wake up and come to life as a happy bossa nova tune plays on the speakers. Marta and Alice exchange a quick hug, and the pups sit and wait respectfully. Marta then removes their leashes and sets them free to run in the fenced-in yard. You sip your warm beverage and watch the dogs happily plow through the leaves and dash around the pumpkins. Their enthusiasm is infectious. People wander into the informal setting to meet the sweet dogs. Each weekend offers the adorable pups the promise of a new forever home. But even for those who return with Marta, they are given a loving place to be in the interim. And so long as they are in her care, they may enjoy a safe, happy home. The dogs follow Marta, the clear leader of the pack, and with a gentle wave of her hand, they sit and come to stillness. The pups' eyes glisten in the afternoon light, and they hang onto her every move and utterance. Having spent years training animals as a young girl in the countryside of Europe, Marta has such a strong presence that your pup curiously walks to the window to watch. Outside, Marta releases her hand and gives the pups permission to run and frolic. The dogs soar into piles of leaves that take flight on the breeze and slowly come back to earth. The leaves drift between the shade of deciduous trees from which they fell and golden light that filters through the branches in suspended animation. A golden retriever puppy sniffs the crisp leaves and tumbles onto the earth clumsily. A young boy named Charlie sees the pup and comes over to play as his parents watch. They tumble together in the pile of leaves, and watching their joy conjures memories deep within you of the smell of fallen leaves and the sense of freedom that came the first time you frolicked in them. Everyone in that moment knows that Charlie and this puppy are meant to be together. Your pup's nose brushes against the glass and leaves a streak as evidence they were there. You finish your drink and rise to walk outside. Your pup stays close on your heels and is eager to be set free in the pristine autumn landscape. Your dog zooms around the perimeter of the yard, attracting the attention of 3 other like-sized dogs. They begin to play together as if they came from the same litter. The pure elation from their open muzzles and dangling pink tongues, from their boundless energy and graceful dashes through piles of leaves, makes your entire body tingle with feeling alive and full of joy. Infectious bliss is a tonic for all the challenges in life and inevitable disappointments, and it can come from the most simple of experiences. Dogs may always remind us of this. You walk across the yard and bend down to pet the retriever puppy. Charlie says hello. Your hands are warmed by its downy fur as it wiggles between your ankles. It then runs back to Charlie and licks the young boy's face. Your heart swells with hope for them both. You settle in a swing that hangs on an oak tree by a weathered rope and bask in the warm sunlight of the late afternoon. As you breathe in the crisp air that smells of wood smoke and hot cider, you smile and take in the beauty of this fall day in this sleepy village. You watch the dogs and children run through the leaves, their yips and gleeful cries accompanied by the familiar crunch of autumn delight. Your dog sniffs and explores every corner of the lawn, plowing through leaves with a wet nose and interacting with every dog and person in the park. You feel proud of them for being friendly and curious. And now and then your pup turns towards you to see that you are still there. And like always, you are. The sweet animal allows you to be a nurturing soul every day of your lives together. This responsibility and exchange of love fulfill you deeply. You rock back and forth on the swing. Your boots occasionally shuffle the leaves as you watch as families, young couples, and animal lovers visit and play with the dogs. 2 more of the sweet animals are adopted. taken home to create new golden memories in the season of gold. The sun begins its descent behind the silhouette of mountains on the other side of the river. The air carries a slight nip, and you are ready to return to the cozy bungalow you rented for the weekend. The simple pleasures of coming and going as you please, and being generous with your time. As slow and lazy as you want, make this getaway perfect. You leave the cafe and walk through the village. Both you and your dog are noticeably more tired and relaxed. The porches of pastel Victorian homes and cottages are decorated for the season with pumpkins and gourds and orange and blue lights. Inside the homes, people prepare warm autumnal dishes, soups and stews and baked breads, making use of butternut squash, pumpkin, apples, sage, rosemary, and sweet potatoes. Some of the aromas drift onto the street through cracked kitchen windows. Children play in the leaves in fenced-in backyards, reveling in the outdoor fun before darkness takes hold. You continue down a windy lane that leads to riverfront homes. Squiggly lines of black smoke create trails across the raspberry pink, peach, and amethyst sunset skies. Your nose becomes cold as the temperature drops, and condensation forms in your nostrils as you inhale deeply. You walk down a shale pathway that leads to a dock and your bungalow. The susurration of leaves overhead greets you as you approach the sliding glass doors at the back of the home. The metal frame glistens like shiny onyx, and the roof slants towards the sky with ceilings that are over 14 feet. A small footprint above the riverbed, behind a garden and dock, the tiny home is made to feel massive by the lofty ceilings and abundant windows. Your pup runs into the dwelling as you wipe wet leaves off your shoes on a tan doormat. The doormat has a leaf of every color represented like a rainbow and a cursive message that says, "Fall, sweet fall." You slide the door closed behind you and remove your shoes to step into plush slippers that warm your toes. Only in the comforts of the home do you realize how cold and tingling your fingers and toes have become. You flip a switch and a fire turns on, pouring amber light onto the wood floors as the saturated colors of the October sky pour through the skylights and sliding doors. Calm, silky waves of the Hudson River appear blue, mauve, and orange as the waterway reflects the sky. From the kitchen windows, you can observe leaves floating southerly towards the Atlantic and New York. You offer your pup dinner and fresh water in ceramic cobalt bowls with a celestial scene of a dog beneath the stars, painted gold in their centers. You fix yourself a bowl of your favorite fall soup you purchased at the local farmer's market earlier in the day. Once warm, you sit on a bar stool and enjoy the thick, hearty meal that warms you from the inside out and awakens your palate with seasonal, savory notes. The vibrant sky darkens into a shade of indigo, and stars begin to appear. The warm meal and a day spent walking miles causes tiredness to wash over you in an unexpected wave. These cool autumn nights, where the sun goes down earlier, make you long to curl up in bed with a great book as you wear comfortable socks and pajamas. You go to the small bathroom and wash up with mulled cider soap made by an upstate New York apple farm. The smell of nutmeg lingers on your skin as you brush your teeth and change into your pajamas. You walk into the lofty bedroom where a king-sized bed sits atop a fluffy, cream-hued shag rug. Your feet sink into the cloud-like textile where your pup sits, awaiting permission to join you on the bed. You welcome your dog up and sink into the pillowy mattress pad, tucked beneath a heavy duvet and satin sheets. Your furry companion cuddles against your legs, warming your feet and comforting you with their steady breathing. The color scheme of the room soothes you, and above the bed you can see the stars and a silver thread of a crescent moon. You inhale deeply and sink into the pillows that contour around your neck and head. The bed has the luxurious feel of one found in a 5-star hotel, and yet the cozy ambiance of the tiny home welcomes you with even more softness. You open a book of poems left on the nightstand and turn to a page to find a passage by Emily Bronte. Fall leaves fall. Fall leaves fall. Die flowers away. Lengthen night and shorten day. Every leaf speaks bliss to me, fluttering from the autumn tree. I shall smile when wreaths of snow blossom where the rose should grow. I shall sing when night's decay ushers in a drearier day. The dreariest of days are not meant to be feared, for they offer the excuse to enjoy the warmest, coziest nights, snuggling by a fire. Every season has its blessing, and a crisp night ideal for sleeping is the gift of autumn. You begin to drift across the bridge to your sleeping life, surrendering to its sweetness, like jewel-toned leaves floating on a night breeze. Finding peace, finding bliss, finding sleep. It's time to dream away.